In this video, 11 dieting mistakes to avoid or stop doing right now to make fat loss and building muscle way easier and stop making it harder than it already is. If I'm new to you, my name is Ted. I'm an online trainer and nutrition coach, and I've helped tons of people lose fat and build muscle. And I think I've seen at least a ton when it comes to this stuff. So these 11 tips have helped my clients feel more full, feel better, and most importantly, cut the bullshit our inner lazy person tells ourselves. If you can't tell, this is an arrow pointing to me. My name's Ted. And of course, these 11 tips are gonna help you lose fat and build lean muscle definition faster than if you were to come across these along the way. A quote I like is, "A smart man learns from his mistakes and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others." So learn these now so you can be proactive rather than reactive in the future. Mistake number one is drinking too many calories. So a can of soda has about 150 to 200 calories in it. A serving of alcohol, 50 to 150 calories. And that's not including the pizza that you Uber Eats after having the alcohol. Juices, sports drinks, creamers, all of this stuff with excess sugar has a ton of calories in it, but it doesn't fill you up. It doesn't make you feel satisfied after you drink them. It's important to note this is not bad food. It's not bad liquids. It's not unhealthy. It's not bad for you. But when you're trying to lose weight and you're eating in a calorie deficit, you have a limited calorie budget for each day. So when you fill it up with things like a Gatorade or soda or a ton of alcohol, you're not leaving yourself a ton of room for actual foods and protein that's gonna help you feel full and satisfied during that deficit. So if you're trying to make the nutrition part of your diet easier, limit the amount of liquid calories you're having each day and week. Mistake number two is eating back calories burnt through exercise. Why is that in quotation marks? Because if you have an Apple Watch, Fitbit, you go to the gym, you hop on the treadmill, the Stairmaster, any type of machine, it'll tell you something like 800 calories burned, 600 calories burned. You go play some soccer with your Apple Watch on, 1,600 calories burned. But what these devices do not tell you, like the one I have on my wrist right here, is that they're pulling these calories burnt amount out of their ass. They are not accurate whatsoever. So whatever nutrition amount you got your calories from, whether it be a nutrition coach like myself, or maybe you got it from an online calculator, wherever you got it from, that's already taking your exercise and activity level into account. So if you're trying to make this easier on yourself, completely ignore the calories burnt from exercise, because not only are they not accurate, they already took your activity level into account. So there's no need to eat back the calories burnt from exercise. So mistake number three, if you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, maybe even just feel less full, is not eating enough protein. That's mistake number three. So we all know that protein is gonna help retain your current muscle as well as build new muscle, right? But did you also know that it is the most satisfying and satiating macronutrient? So carbs, fats, protein's gonna be the one that makes you feel most full and satisfied after eating it. So how much protein do you need? Your protein range should be anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 times your body weight or goal body weight if you have a lot of weight to lose. So for example, right now I weigh 160 pounds. So 160 pounds times 0.8 is 128 grams. And 160 times 1.2 is 192 grams. So if I'm eating anywhere from 128 to 192 grams of protein per day, I'm doing good. I like to just make it easy on myself and my clients, and I say aim for around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or goal body weight if we have that. Mistake number four is snacking or boredom eating. So this is a huge bad habit that I have to break with a ton of my clients that first start. It's when you're at a party or a work event, or you're just on the couch watching TV at the end of the night and you just grab something to mindlessly snack on. Or maybe you finished work early for the day and you have nothing to do, so you just grab something and start eating it. This is a huge one that comes down to intention, self-discipline, and free time. A question you can ask yourself in the moment if you find yourself doing this is, am I hungry or am I just nervous/bored? Or right now while you're watching this video, you can ask yourself, is it always the same foods? Maybe do I have a problem with a specific food group or a specific food that I keep in the pantry that I do not have the self-discipline to keep in a house right now? Get rid of them for 3 months. Build up some self-discipline and self-control so you can be like, wow, I can go 3 months without this food. I do not need to keep it in my house. Then you can return it into your house once you build up some self-belief in yourself that you will not overeat on this certain food. If you find yourself more eating socially because you're nervous, you want something in your hands, in your mouth, maybe bring some gum to social events to help you with that social anxiety so you don't have to be grabbing food and going over your calories and ruining your fitness goals with it. And then finally, if it truly is boredom, if you think you're overeating because of boredom, You need to find a hobby. Get rid of that free time with something else more productive or something that you just enjoy doing, playing guitar, reading, going on a walk, painting, it could be anything. Am I hungry or am I just bored, nervous? These are important questions to ask yourself. Mistake number 5 is such a big one. This should have been number 1, but not tracking on a food scale in grams. This is huge. Now, I've had a ton of clients and a good handful of them have been skeptical about this working. They didn't want to do it, but I forced them to it and they were very thankful for doing that. If you're serious about achieving your fitness goals, about losing fat, building muscle, you want to pick the most serious, effective method of doing so, right? And not only will this bring the best results possible, it will build immense self-awareness around food, around proper portion sizes for you, around foods that, how many calories and protein are in certain foods that you like, foods that maybe aren't smart for you, have too many calories and too small of a serving that don't leave you full and satisfied after eating them. And you're probably like, Ted, I don't want immense self-awareness right now around my food. But you will 6 months, 12 months from now when you want to stop tracking your calories on a food scale, and you won't need to rely on a food scale anymore as much because you've built so much knowledge around how many calories and protein are in certain foods, what proper portion sizes for you look like. That will be important in the future for yourself once you want to stop tracking. If this is a little too serious for you right now, you can do other ways of tracking that aren't as accurate, something like 3 meals, 2 snack method that I learned from one of my mentors, Jordan Syatt. If you want a video on that, let me know and I'll pop one out. Mistake number 6 that I see all the time, fad diets, like liquid diets, liquid only diets. Keto is a massive one. There's some fad diets out there that aren't so terrible actually, but these are just horrible for you. So quick story on mistake number 6 before I hop into the details about it. My girlfriend has a coworker who just started a liquid diet, or just finished one actually, and she lost 4 pounds over the whole 3-month diet, I think it was. And the thing about that is that 4 pounds isn't fat. It was most likely glycogen and water weight that she lost, and just an absence of food volume in her digestive tract. So really, these diets aren't going to get you anywhere, and they're actually going to leave you more stuck and more confused after you finish them. When someone tries to argue about this to me online or in person, I always ask them this one question and then they never really have an answer for it, or they just try lying. Do you see yourself eating this way in 10 years? And the answer is usually always a laughing no, or they try to lie through it. But the thing is, there's no way you're sticking to keto or a liquid only diet 10 years from now. So why would you set yourself up for failure by practicing something or trying to practice something for 3, 6, 12 months when you know you're not going to be doing this in 10 years from now? Whatever you do to lose the weight, you're going to have to keep doing that to maintain that weight loss. That's why I'm so huge on strong habits and sustainable habits that you can build a foundation from and then keep building upon afterwards. Whereas with keto, or liquid diets, you're not building anything. There's nothing to lean back on once you're struggling, or once you want to go out to dinner with your kids, go to the movies with your friends or kids, anything like that. If you're someone that's influenced by things you see online about liquid diets or keto, where you're taking out all solid foods, or you're taking out an entire macronutrient with keto carbs, instead of that, why don't you ask yourself, how much more lean protein can I put in my diet? How much more vegetables, fruit can I put into my diet? Ask yourself that, and try to, instead of subtracting stuff, try to add more healthy things into your diet. Mistake number 7 is not eating enough vegetables or fruit. I don't have to tell you that fruit and vegetables are good for you, right? They have tons of nutrients, tons of micros, and they're very healthy for you. So why, if you still don't care about that and you're still not eating them, why would you start eating them now? Well, because when you're in a calorie deficit, right, you're gonna get hungry. Your body's gonna crave energy, it's gonna crave calories, and you're not eating enough calories to maintain your weight, and you're gonna get hungry. It's normal. Vegetables and fruit are super low calorie dense foods, so you can eat a high volume of them for not a lot of calories. So if you're trying to feel full and satisfied in a calorie deficit, start eating one big ass salad every day with vegetables in it, maybe some lean protein in there as well, and low calorie dressing, and then also some fruit every day. Maybe you can mix fruit into something like some low fat Greek yogurt in the morning, or have that for dessert because it's also very sweet. And this stuff will help you stay more full, stay healthy, which maybe you don't care about, but maybe staying full you do care about. Mistake number 8 is eating too much fat. So fat has 9 calories per 1 gram, whereas carbs and protein have 4 calories per 1 gram. Fat's not bad, it's not gonna make you fat, but eating too much fat is going to leave you feeling a little bit more hungry than it would be if you lowered your fat a little bit and higher your carbs and protein. Again, this might not be something that you have to worry about, but if your fat intake is higher than 30%, 35% of your daily calories, then I'd start to take your fat down a little bit. And you could always DM me on Instagram or email me if you're having problems with this, and I can go through some of your food diary entries and help you reduce your fat intake if you'd like. So lastly, one more thing, if you're constantly starving in your calorie deficit, take a look at how many grams of fat you're eating each day, and if it's super high, more than 35% of your total daily calories, try reducing it. Mistake number 9 is trying to have your calories too low or go too aggressive too soon. So I completely understand why you would do this. You find out about a calorie deficit, you eat less calories than it takes to maintain your body weight, and you'll lose fat. So you just, instead of eating a 250 to 500 calorie deficit, you drop that down to an 800 to 1,000 calorie deficit so you could speed things up. You end up doing that for 3, maybe even 4 days, and then you end up eating way over that, completely going off the rails, but then you know, maybe on Monday you can get back on track, go back down to 800 to 1,000, and you're in this cycle of heavy restriction and then heavy overeating or binging. This is called yo-yo dieting, and I find so many people to do this. And if this is your first serious fat loss phase, you shouldn't be too aggressive because you don't know your body yet. You don't know what you can handle mentally yet. And fast fat loss is absolutely not for everyone. It's definitely not for me either. Having weeks where you do aggressive fat loss and then taper back up where you're doing a zigzag diet, let me know if you want a video on that. But that's something you can do, calorie cycling. But you can't just go super aggressive until you could reach your end goal, especially if it's your first time. So what can you do to solve this is just eat 300 to 500 calories under your maintenance daily and do that until you reach your goal. Mistake number 10 is skipping breakfast. Now hold on, there's a ton of people where intermittent fasting works for them and they love it, and I have tons of clients like that, but there's also people who skip breakfast because they've seen something online that skipping breakfast speeds up your metabolism, or skipping breakfast so you can have more calories later is the only way to lose fat. And if you're skipping breakfast and then constantly overeating at night, that is why. It's because you're skipping breakfast. So start having a light 200 to 400 calorie breakfast, high in protein, maybe low fat Greek yogurt and berries. That's one of the best breakfasts you can have out there. Don't think that intermittent fasting is the only way to lose fat. Now, this video is not sponsored at all. I'm making this free to help people, but mistake number 11 is relying too much on supplements. And examine.com is a great free resource that you can use to look up supplements. It will give you all the research about those supplements and what it has been proven to do or not to do. And a huge mistake I see a ton of people do is buy unnecessary amounts of supplement thinking that it's going to lose the fat for them, thinking it's going to eat in the deficit for months for them, which it's not going to do. There is nothing that you can buy that's going to make you lose the fat. You have to do the work consistently, week after week, day after day, month after month, to get the results. So if you're taking things like protein powder and creatine, that's amazing. That's gonna help you hit your protein goal and push a little bit harder in the gym. But if you're buying some crazy fat loss pills, they're not gonna do shit. So overly relying on supplements is mistake number 11. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope these 11 mistakes help you to avoid them, or maybe you already made some of them and now you could realize that you're making them and you could stop doing them. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, hit the like button, let me know in the comments. Let me know also if you want 11 or maybe 8 to 11 training mistakes that I see new clients making, or just I see my friends making inside of the gym. And if you're interested in more personalized help, you can book a free one-on-one call with me through the first link in my bio. Just fill out the coaching application and we can see if one-on-one training and nutrition coaching is something for you, and if I'm confident in my ability to help you achieve your goals.